Wow. If you've ever thought, how can AI impact my business? I don't know how to use AI. What's something simple that I can get started in using AI in my business? You've got to listen to this conversation I had with CJ. He's an expert in it. He's been working with it for 15 years now, and he's got several programs, some free resources he offers to this community. So definitely you want to listen to my conversation with my new friend, CJ. Welcome to Market Mavericks. I'm Matthew Eford. Join me as I speak with leaders who are redefining industries in every corner of the market. From startups to established businesses, we'll uncover the strategies, challenges, and insights that drive success. Get ready to be inspired by the Mavericks who are shaping the future of business. Welcome, everybody, to Market Mavericks. I have CJ here with me. CJ is going to share a lot of insights into the world of AI. But before we get there, CJ, tell us who you are, what you do, and what business you're a part of.
Hey everybody, my name is Cee Jay Besa and I'm excited to be here. I am the founder of the Destiny Activation marketing agency out here in Orlando, Florida. We've been in business since 2015, and what we do is we specialize in helping small businesses to go from wherever they are to six figures within the first 6 months of working with us. The way we do this is through helping them to get more leads, to be able to fix their system, and to be able to help them to boost engagement online. And so one thing we found mostly is that a lot of small business owners think that they have a cash flow problem, but what they have is a system problem. When they fix their system problem, their cash flow problem is taken care of. So it kind of takes care of itself. So that's how we do out here in Orlando, Florida.
I love that. I love that. So let's talk a little bit more about the system problem. Where do you see? Is there any kind of specific systems that you recommend? Is it EOS, or is it more you've got to be able to market your business in a more sustainable way? But when you talk about system problems, let's dive into that a little bit.
So I'm a software engineer by trade. That's my background. And what I've found is that when you're running your business, for instance, a lot of businesses that we help to support, they have a legacy system. They've got 15, 16 different things that they manage. They've got an email system with constant contact. They've got a CRM that they manage. They've got Slack. They've got a funnel that's separated. So all those things, what it takes to run all those things is two or three or four individuals. Well, what we found is a way to be able to streamline all that into one system. So get all your emails automated so that we have all your emails automated from here to December, for instance, would take away the pain of you having to write emails every day.
I love that.
Creating a system where we have your communication, everybody that communicates with you, whether through text, SMS, WhatsApp, or they're answering or responding to you on social media. What if you could do that all from one place, right? So we have a system where you can do that from one place. It's as opposed to having 3 or 4 different places where you have to respond to those clients. You have one central place you come to and you respond. We even have ways for you to be able to create video and audio and things that you need to create to reach your clients without you having to actually invest in like a multi-thousand-dollar camera or
Sure.
studio to be able to do that. And that's really content creation in this generation. And we know how important content creation is, but the challenge is a lot of people, a lot of businesses are still stuck on, oh, I got to get my phone, I got to get this camera, I got to get this and this and this so that I can finally create content. We're saying, drop all of that, just invest in this one thing, and it's all set.
I love that. What a simplistic way. I know it took a lot of work on your end, but what a simplistic way to be able to hand that to a business owner and support them in that. Because I know in our organizations, the more systems we have, the more issues we have, and the more time we have, the more more inefficient that we are in trying to manage those systems. The more people we have to have. So I love that you're streamlining that. So one thing that we're seeing in the tech space, a hot button issue, is AI, right? I know that you've got a lot of experience in that. Talk to us about AI. What are you seeing in the now? How is that impacting a small business owner? How can they be engaged with AI as a small business owner?
So a small business owner right now may not recognize this, but they've already been using AI without recognizing it, right? So, for example, maybe let me first start with those who don't even know what AI is. I'm
Yeah,
going to give
please.
a very
Thank you.
simplistic definition, right? So, AI, in a simple way that we can understand it, is like a big computer that listens, hears, learns, understands, and then it implements and makes decision based on what it has just learned. So, a classic example of that, if you go on your Netflix right now, the likely thing that's going to happen as soon as you turn on Netflix is going to recommend something for you to watch, but it's recommending it based on something that it learned, a learned behavior of things that you typically watch, right?
Yeah.
That is AI at work. And for most businesses, big businesses, they've been having AI work on us for almost the last 15 years.
Wow.
But what's been happening is small businesses didn't have the capacity to be able to train the AI with our data so that we can be able to benefit from that. Why? Because machine learning, which is at the heart of open AI, I started studying that about 8 years ago.
Okay.
And at that time, you could only do it as a big business. So I was involved in software engineering in big businesses, and only they had the data to be able to train that AI to do what they needed. So when you called the bank, all of that was AI handled, right?
Okay.
We didn't have that capacity. So now we have the capacity where you can train your AI where you don't need to answer that phone. You can have your voice trained to be able to respond so that people are speaking to your AI, priming your clients before they even speak to you. You can have a text to video where you create a video based on what you texted, and that video comes out with your facial expression because you've created an avatar that is similar to you. So I could be
Wow.
an avatar now speaking on this and somebody typing behind me
Wow. That's
and still
amazing.
give that, right? And to be able to do that within 5 minutes, as opposed to, the ladies would have to take to buy a new dress, get some makeup, get a camera, make the place look right. How about you just be able to type it into a text and let your avatar do the rest? And you change your scenery based on what's provided by the AI because it comes with a multitude of things that you can do. And that's just part of what it can do. And we're just at the start of it.
Sure. That
So
is fascinating.
so think about what it does. It saves you time. It saves you money. It saves you it gives you time to create your own business and to grow your business outside of just being stuck trying to do content creation, which we know most small businesses don't have the time to do.
Sure. So, what is a tool, right, for a small business owner? They say, "Hey, this sounds great. An avatar sounds great. I don't really know how to use it, but an avatar sounds cool." The content creation side, we know that they need that. You and I are both in the content creation. That's why we're doing this podcast, right? I mean, it's such a great way to disseminate information and connect with people. But what is maybe a simple tool that a business owner could use to get into more engagement with AI?
All right. So the place where I would start, if I was just starting out, I would start with ChatGPT, which is the obvious one.
Okay.
And what ChatGPT has been able to do is if you were creating content and you were going to write 30 emails, it used to take you a half a day creating those emails because you've got to come up with the headings, the subheadings, you've got to come up with what you're going to say that's smart and engaging. Well, now if you learn prompting of how to prompt your ChatGPT, what you're doing is the prompting is the engineering language that you use to speak to the machine.
Okay.
So typically, when you have employees, you find encouraging language to work with them so that they can be able to produce, right? Well, when you're prompting correctly, what you're doing is you have found a way to be able to speak to the machines correctly. And what they do is they give you the input based on the quality of the questions you ask. So the quality of the questions you ask give you a quality response back. And if you can do that, you can pretty much design 30 emails in a heartbeat. And what it sounds like typically is this. You would give it a context. So you would say something like this. Imagine that you are an expert in marketing.
Okay.
So it assumes the position of a marketer. And then you say, write a letter to this group of clients, let's say small business owners who have only been in business for 3 years, who want to earn 6 figures or more, and who have 700, on their credit score.
Okay.
That's as an example. So this is a very specific niche market of people who are business owners who haven't owned a business for more than 3 years. They have a 700 credit score and they want to earn six figures within the next 6 months. Well, if I put that into a chat bot, like a chat GPT, and I say, write me 30 emails that would be engaging to these people, in about 10, in barely a minute, I would have 30 emails I can send to those people. And I
Wow.
take that information, paste that inside of our sales process system, which automates all of those emails. And for the next 30 days, I don't have to touch emails because emails are going out. I schedule them, let's say 6 a.m. in the morning, and I make sure that they drop in your inbox in the morning every day, 6 a.m. And here's an additional thing. You can even train chatbots to scan the emails of those who are signed up. So my email list, my AI has already scanned every inbox to see what time that those people actually open their email.
Wow. Yeah, cool.
I open my emails at 10 a.m. because that's after my kids are going to school, right? By the time I open my email, that's when my AI is trained to deposit the email that I'm sending. So imagine how powerful that is, right?
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. So
So
so that
ChatGPT would be where I would start, put it that way.
okay. So that's a great starting point. And then is the chat bot, is that part of your system, or is that something that they need to get as a WordPress add-on? Like what is, how do they get into the chatbot realm?
So all of these AI systems that you're seeing, they're all really chatbots
Okay.
behind that. So if you were setting up a website or a funnel, we would set up a chatbot in your funnel that is AI powered through ChatGPT. So instead of people calling you and asking you, hey, having frequently asked questions, you would pre-program your chatbot to respond so that if someone has a buying question, they don't have to talk to you to get the buying question. It will respond online, and whatever they're going to ask, you have your frequently asked questions already programmed. If they say they want this product, this is the link to the product. We want to speak to a person, provide your email and phone number and time to call you, and this is the person that will call you. You
I
want
love that.
to, any question that you have behind us as a business, we'll have your chatbot installed in your website or in your funnel or in whatever it is that you use for your business so that it's 24/7, someone is answering the questions for you. Now,
Sure.
if you were looking for, if I was trying to buy flowers, and I needed flowers desperately tonight, right? And I went on Google and found a company and tried to call them and they didn't respond. So I would naturally move on to the next one, right? Well, what if the company that I just went onto their website and tried to call them, but they didn't respond? What if they called me back in 2 minutes and they said, this is your chat GPT assistant. We noticed that we missed a call from you. Would you like to still go ahead and do business and buy some flowers? And I would say, yes, right?
Yeah.
What does that do? It increases my sales while I sleep.
Sure. Yeah, I love that. I mean, what an amazing thing. Very practical, right? To start as a small business owner, missed calls are a huge drain on
Yeah.
your revenue.
Sure.
You're missing the customer service piece, but you're also missing the potential of gaining a new client or keeping an existing client. So the
Yeah.
retention or new customer sales. So I love being able to use that and use it 24/7 because a lot of times when you're working with someone, they're a busy professional. When are they going to call you? At
Yeah.
night and on the weekends.
Yeah.
When is your office normally closed? At night and on the
Night
weekends,
in the
right?
weekend. Yeah.
And so you can either hire someone remotely to do that work, which is fine, or you can utilize something at a fraction of the cost. So where do you see with obviously AI is rapidly adapting, at
Mhm.
least in the market space in the public sector,
Right.
that it's the daily users are getting involved in it. New apps are coming out. What do you see kind of trends? Where do you see AI going this year into next year and into kind of the beyond? What do you anticipate from there?
So the way I look at AI is the way that we looked at the internet when it first came out, right?
Okay.
Some people just thought it was electronic mail and that was it. But the people that were on the forefront of that, they created the Amazon of the time. They created the Microsoft of the time. They created advertising agencies that are great now, right? So that was just the beginning. And then people started to join in. And by the time people started, Facebook advertising, they were already paying this much money, but they hadn't made the millions that came with the people that started that process.
Yeah.
So the people that start right now, while AI is still in its infancy, they're going to be the Jeff Bezos of the next 10 years. Why do I say that? Is because while we are here at this level, the people who take time to adapt and really learn this product, they're going to be the ones that come up with new ideas that are going to change the people in the future. So
Sure.
the product that we're going to be selling, like for instance, right now we've already got our Q4 strategy for Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday, New Year's Eve, Christmas. All of those are already done and prepared and set up in advance, right?
Cool.
We did that all in about last month, sort of like our retreat before the fourth quarter. But it took us a fraction of the time that it would normally take us to do it. Usually that used to take us all year to prepare those promotions. Now we can do that within a fraction of the time. We did a 6-month training within a day, right?
Wow.
What used to take us 6 months, we did within a day. We got it edited. We could even do this podcast and have this podcast edited within 10 minutes. Now think
Sure.
about that. What does that do in the future? If that can happen in 10 minutes, in 5 years, when it gets even better, what
Sure.
does that look like? So that saves us time as business owners. That gives us with the ability to boost our engagement, to create more engaging content, to have a marketing plan that's really strong, and to make sure that we stay in our follow-up game. We're really in touch with our client, and our tech base, is working perfectly. And like you said, if you don't have the tech side of things working perfectly, you're spending a lot of time
Yeah.
trying to just do that. And what are
Sure.
you missing in the meantime? You're missing what you should be doing most, which is serving your client.
Amen. No, man, that's you're speaking my language. I love it. So talk to me about one of the hot button issues around AI is job loss, right? You see a lot of the strikes that are going on in multiple different industries that a lot of people are concerned they're going to lose their job. So we've talked about some of the efficiencies. Obviously, I have someone editing my podcast. Is that person are they using AI as a supplement to assist them, or is it something that AI is replacing their job? What do you see in that?
So here's a really cool question that you asked, right? Human intelligence plus artificial intelligence can make some of the best results ever that you might ever find. So
Okay.
it's almost like if I was working with my partner and we were just two of us, it's like having a third partner that doesn't require additional pay, that never sleeps, that never takes off, but that is always producing. So one of the best ways to think of AI is not to think, oh, as a small business owner, then I don't need the people that I work with. The best way to think about it is, how can I multiply the production based on AI, so that what we used to produce, if we used to take a whole year to come up with our fourth quarter plan, and it took us 8 hours to do that now, how can we triple that so that our
Sure.
production is absolutely massive? So we're producing now as a small business. We produce as though we are a big business. Why? Because we've taken the small things that we used to be able to do in a month. Now we can do them in a day, and we've simply multiplied our efforts. So we've allowed each one of us to grow our skills using AI, so that what we used to develop before, we can do 10 times better.
I love
So
that.
those who are worried about, will AI take over my job? AI will not take over people's job who don't have AI. AI is going to take over the people AI is going to only take over the jobs of people who don't actually have AI. It's not going to take out the jobs of people who have AI. So the people who have AI are the employees of the future. And those who don't have AI are going to be dinosaurs within at least 3 years. And that's not my statement. That statement is from one of my favorite sharks, which is Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
And what he's really saying is, instead of thinking, how will AI take my job, instead start to think, how can I get set up so that when AI comes from me, I'm the one that's training people AI
I
and
love that.
teaching my organization AI, rather than them telling me that I should be laid off based off of the fact that I don't have it.
Yeah. Adapt, right? It's time to adapt. The adaptation's coming, and we can adapt and grow with it, or we can get left behind. So where do you see what kind of industries do you see currently AI has been very disruptive or is heavily implemented that they're using a lot? I know you talked about Netflix earlier.
Yeah.
We've been seeing that for several years now. Here's a suggested show for you. Where else do you see what kind of industries do you see AI has made giant leaps and is being implemented really well?
So it's really, really good question. You got to think. You mentioned the strikes, right? When Hollywood went on strike, and that's when they realized, oh, so we can actually just create these scripts by ourselves. We don't even need, that human factor in here. But what they soon discovered was you do need that human factor because AI, as of right now, it's not going to say something like, "Oh, last week this is how I was feeling," right? It's going to only speak in the abstract. It's going to give you info in the abstract.
Sure.
So you've got to humanize AI. There's going to be a human factor that's required, where it can speak of it was, I was cold yesterday. AI is not going to say it was cold, right? So the human factor is always going to be necessary to get the best product. It's just maybe not as many people doing the same task. So the industries that have definitely been affected where, script writing, like for instance, see this book right here?
Yeah.
I wrote this book in 2017. It's called Becoming the CEO of Your Life. I took a year to write that book. Okay. I wrote an ebook that I have right now for AI called, AI powered lead generation. And
Okay.
I wrote that book in 30 minutes and it's bigger than
Cool.
this book. Right. And
Wow.
the facts in there, all I did was I wrote the chapters. In 20 minutes, it was done, created a cover. Within a half an hour, it was ready to go, ready to deploy online. That means that industry is affected.
Yeah.
The industry of book writing, authorship is affected. The industry of filmmaking, script writing is affected. Any customer service industry where things are repeatable is automated. So if you're working at Walmart, that task is about to be automated, right?
Sure.
So that means that instead of worrying about, oh, will this task, will my job be removed? Like I said earlier, you've got to adapt now to say, how can I be useful in the future? Because it doesn't mean that these jobs are going to be gone and then there's going to be nothing for you. It just means you've got to create a new lane now because you've got to think, wiser now. You've got to think, how can I be important in this upcoming generation? And
Sure.
I think that's what makes the difference, right? Let's look at TikTok. Making those videos, a lot of 18-year-olds are making millions of dollars just doing TikTok videos. They don't even have their face on the video. All they have is an AI-powered app that's creating videos 24/7, and they're getting engagement. Because what does TikTok want? They want an 18-year-old who has something to say, and people will stay on the platform all day watching that person. Well,
Sure.
if I don't have to do nothing but just type those things in and create little videos, rather than just working at Walmart, I could just adapt to doing that
Sure.
and, and grow my business. So I'm saying that there's going to be a lot of ways for this generation to grow beyond what we've ever witnessed before, just by making that slight adaptation, by joining a class, by learning how to do it, and by becoming the answer to the future.
Yeah, cool. So obviously, people can check out your ebook. That's an excellent resource. But talk to us about a business owner or a young professional who's wanting to adapt and learn AI. What resources? Where would you send them? So you talked about doing the chat prompts in ChatGPT, kind of getting in and playing around with it. But are there any courses that you would recommend? Is there any content that you would recommend consuming? Anyone that you have found and read that you say, hey, this is a reliable source of somewhere you can go, content you can consume that can help you grow and learn in AI?
Absolutely. We actually have an AI 10-day business class where we teach how
Nice.
to actually apply those steps, step by step, into your business, and to be able to apply your all-in-one system and how to be able to actually do that. This would incorporate like things like how to set up your calendar in one place, how to have your calls coming in, which is what I mentioned earlier.
Sure.
We have an all-in-one platform where we actually train people how to be able to do that, how to sign up, how to set up everything. And then we take you through what we call a step-by-step implementation of things like tools like Midjourney. What Midjourney does is it helps you to create images uh,
Okay.
of advertising campaigns that are really beyond what you could imagine. So, for example, just to explain what Midjourney and how the classes work. So Midjourney is a creative ad sort of space where you can create amazing images, right? Well, if I go in there and take the prompt from a particular image, let's say that I take a Coca-Cola image that I see online, right? I upload it into my Midjourney. What it will do is Midjourney will describe it through a prompt. And I take that prompt and say, modify this prompt to indicate this information, and I let that be your information. So
Wow.
Matthew's pillars
Sure.
of strategy, Mavericks, put that on there, and then automatically it changes the ad to suit what you would do on your particular campaign. We already know it's a successful campaign because it's happening through Coca-Cola.
Sure.
Now you modify it to suit your brand, and you put it out there. Now that showing you how to do that, we do that step by step. We walk you through how to create your emails in ChatGPT, how to put plugins. What plugins are, let's say you're working, let's say your company is a company that designs ebooks,
Okay.
or a company that designs anything to do with, shall we say, code. You're a coding company, all
Sure.
right? How do you do that? Well, we take a plugin, we plug it into something like ChatGPT. You can put in your code, and it will decode your code and give you suggestions on how to rewrite the new code.
Wow.
That is if that's your business. If your
Wow.
business was something to do with creating, what business can you name, and I can show you something that you would do easily in AI.
So, I mean, we have a Christmas lights business, Lighting Pros, that we run. We have Lighting Pros franchise. We sell franchises across the country for folks who are looking to do outdoor lighting, especially in Christmas season.
All right. So outdoor lighting during Christmas season. The way you would take that business, it obviously needs more leads, right?
Sure.
So what you're looking to do is, how can I communicate with people who have an interest or expressed a desire in that? So what you would do is you would simply program your Chat GPT to bring back the characteristics, the pain points of such an audience.
Okay.
Where you would find such an audience, what places they hang out, and then create for me an email or a headline that talks specifically to that person. So it will be similar to something like this. Hey, if you're a 40-year-old who is going through divorce and custody, right? You see how
Sure.
that is very specific to that
Sure.
person? Or to be able to do that, it used to take like a copywriter, okay,
Sure.
to come up with something so niche market that you're not going to call me because you're not 40 years old with going through divorce and custody, right?
Yeah.
Because the person that is speaking to that is going to say, I'm that person. So how do you design that for your lighting business, so that someone knows, look, we want someone who is this person, who does this, who needs this Christmas lighting, and we create that, and we can do that in a fraction.
I love that. That is amazing. What an amazing tool, and to use it, right. The tool's there, and we need to use it to grow our businesses. So
Right.
you talk a lot about emails. Are you using that on social media as well, or how are you getting that email list? Are you buying those email lists? Is that coming through your AI chatbot as well? How are you getting the email contacts for folks?
So here's a really fast way to build your email list for a lot of small businesses that are starting out. We create a chatbot and we attach it to your social media, like Messenger.
Okay.
And what we would do is we would create a lead magnet. So when I created my ebook, the AI powered lead generation, what I did with that is I simply put it on my Facebook, right? And what it does is it says, do you want to generate leads really fast? So people who want to generate leads really fast will click on that. And what it does is it goes into my chatbots and starts to communicate with that person, whether I'm present or not. And then it says, for you to download this, go ahead and put your email. And the person puts their email and they receive the ebook. And now we have not only their email, we have their name and their phone number, because all of those things come with Facebook.
Sure.
So because we have that, we grew that list from 20 to 1,000 people overnight, because we had a chatbot that was communicating with them. And what it does is it asks for permission to be able to send them more information. So when we have a promotion, that promotion simply runs through the chatbot, and we don't even have to communicate with these people because they are already communicating with us. So we have promotions set up in the chatbot so that automatically when we have our Halloween special coming up in a week, they're going to receive those emails that we have a promotion. when we have our Black Friday waiting list, we're gonna have a wait. Hey, you can join the waiting list to get 50% off of this AI training. They'll join the waiting list, and people, when they join the waiting list, it's the most powerful thing you can do in marketing is have people join a waiting list, right? I mean, we've seen Elon Musk does this, very
Sure.
well, right? Buy your what Cybertruck, put
Yeah,
50%
yeah,
down for the Cybertruck, and then you wait, right? Well, that's the most powerful thing because when people wait for your product, they feel kind of dumb if you drop the product and then they didn't buy when they waited, right?
sure.
So our chatbot does that. So we would set that up in your messenger, we set up in your Instagram. And what it does is all the resources of people that communicate with you about your product, it will be captured through that. And then you have an emailing list that you continue to send to. You don't even necessarily need to have a big list to start with, but you do need to have a lead magnet.
Okay.
So that's how we help businesses to grow their list because we give them abilities to create a lead magnet, a lead form, something that says, we're going to give you this if you sign up for this. And you've signed up to a lot of those things, right? So
Sure.
that's how you build that email list. And then you start communicating with them and nurturing that client until they become someone who wants to buy something because you continue to put something before them that says, hey, this Thanksgiving, we have this. This New Year's, we have this. New Year, new you. I already have a product that's coming
Yeah,
out
I
on
love that.
how to help them with becoming the new you in the new year, right? That's
Sure.
what we said, but how did we create it? We created the mastermind through ChatGPT and
Cool.
using these tools.
That's incredible. So talk to us about you said the 10-day boot camp of how to implement it. How does somebody find that? How does somebody find your ebook? If they're wanting to know more, if they're wanting to sign up, if they're wanting to get access to that information, how do they get connected to you in that?
So we have aiskill.com. You just go
Okay.
to aiskill.live, my bad.
Okay.
Aiskill.live is where we have the training happening, the 10-day boot camp. And all you do is you sign up for that and you'll be able to get through. We have that and we have double your income using AI. And for that, you have to go to another of our website, which is aiskill.biz,
Okay.
BIZ. So
Okay.
that's skill.biz. And in that one, I actually take you through an entire training live, which is actually just a recording, but it takes you through an entire training where you'll be able to sort of walk step by step through how you can be able to set up. So those are two different trainings. One of them is like a webinar. The other one, you actually are walking through week by week by week, learning every day something that you can do to apply in your actual business. And another thing we have a mastermind. And actually, I'll give you a link to these things
Yeah,
at the
please.
end. So
I'd show them and put them in the show notes for sure.
yeah, we have a mastermind where every week we place one training. So we would have Mid-Journey. This is how you use Mid-Journey. This is how
Okay.
you apply it in your business. Next week, we'll have something like Beautiful AI. This is how you create beautiful scripts or beautiful designs that you can make presentations. Next week, we'll have something like Umata. And in Umata, we create, this kind of content. This is how you can use it. We use Synthesia. This is how you create an avatar. You use the avatar this way to sell your training course. Those kind of things. We have those.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, CJ, I really appreciate your time, man. I got a couple of questions I'd love to kind of ask as we wrap up. Number one, we love to learn from other people's mistakes. So, what is a mistake you've made over the life of your marketing business, and what's something you learned from it?
The biggest mistake that I think we made when I started was thinking that I could do everything
Okay,
myself. So I wanted to be the face of the business, and also I'm a software engineer, so naturally I'm going to do that. And then I wanted to be the one that's also doing the editing and also communicating with everybody, so I don't lose anyone.
sure.
So doing that was a big mistake because what it does is you suffer burnout real quick. So what I did was, even when I didn't think that I could afford to take on another person, I did go on and take another person. Why?
Cool.
Because I realized what John Maxwell taught me this concept called think who, not how.
Yep.
In other words, when you want to grow your business, don't think how can I do it. Think who has done it so good that they can help me do it. So you find someone who has done that, what the thing that you think you want to do, that can do it really well, and you put that person in place and you let them be the leader of that thing. So when I found someone who could handle just the social media side of things, I let them be the boss. When I found somebody who could handle the admin, I let them be the boss of that. And then what I do is I make sure that I stay leading the business by coming up with new concepts, new ideas, communicating with our clients, and growing the business that way.
Sure. I love that. Yeah, the delegation part's the hardest thing, right? There's so many great books. Obviously, we love John Maxwell. Who Not How by Dan Sullivan's a fantastic resource.
Yeah.
E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber is another great one
That's
that
a
is
great
so
book.
hard going from or 0 to 1, right?
It's
There's
a
a lot
power.
of resources out there. What's in the book realm? What's another book that you would recommend if you could get it in the hands of every small business owner? What's one that you would put there outside of your book and your ebook? Because
I
obviously
would
we want to
say,
get those.
well, you mentioned Dan Sullivan. I would and Ben Hardy. I
Yeah.
would say that 10x is better than 2x.
Okay.
10x is better than 2x. Why I love this book is it explains one major concept. It says that if your business is currently making, let's say, $1 million a year, and you want your business to start making $10 million a year, the question you have to ask yourself is, you have to say a statement that says, we can make 10 million, we can't make this $10 million in 1 year unless we do the following. He says those things that you will write down that you say, we can't make $10 million unless we do these things. Those things are the only things you need to do from now on. Everything else that you were doing, drop those things and only do the things that you mentioned that you said we can't do it unless we do these things, and then
Yeah.
only focus on
Love
those.
that.
And that's how you 10x your business. So that's really, really huge for me and huge for my business. And that's what I would recommend.
Awesome. I love that.
Along with the E-Myth, of course, because that's just such a great book
Yeah.
by Michael Gerber. It's amazing.
That's what an excellent way to end. I mean, it's we get so caught up in the minutia of the daily grind, trying to grow a little bit, but that perspective of what would it take for me to 10x my business, and then just focus on doing that as the CEO, as the leader, as the business owner. That's what you need to be spending your time to. And then what you said earlier about hiring on people, it's hard. It's a financial investment. It's a quote unquote risk. But man, it is so much riskier not to try to do everything yourself. You get burnt out. Peter Drucker, we say this often, bottlenecks are always at the top. You're the rate limiting step for growth of your organization. And if
Right.
you're not growing, your capacity, your throughput, your team doesn't grow. And if it's
That's right.
just you, there's only so much work, even with AI, there's only so much work you can do during the day. So, CJ, man, how does somebody else? Is there any other way they can get connected to you if they want to know more? I'm definitely going to put the show notes in the show notes, the links to your stuff. But is there any other way they can get connected to you?
Absolutely. One of the things we're doing this year is we're doing what we call the Q4 strategy training.
Okay.
Things that we already do for all of the next 5 holidays. So we have a Halloween campaign launching this week, and then next week we're going to have the Black Friday, Thanksgiving, New Year's. But we want to teach people how to be able to dominate the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Dominating the fourth quarter means that for Black Friday alone, it's a $20 billion weekend. But a lot of people don't have anything to sell that weekend because they're simply not ready. Well, how about if we could get you ready for the Q4 training? And we're going to have that happen this Saturday at 11 a.m. So what people just simply need to do is go to aiskill.live.
Okay.
And there you can sign up and join that, join that program. And what that will do, it will allow me to get your communication, your email, and I'll be able to send you an SMS right away so you can be able to be reminded to be part of that class. And once you know what we can do to help you with that, because you don't have to pay to be that, it's a free class. But once you understand what it does, then if you want to engage further, we'd be more than glad to work with you.
I love that. Well, CJ, man, I appreciate your time very much. What a lot of wisdom you've shared. I know this is one that people will go back and listen to again because AI is a thing that is very disruptive, but it's an excellent tool. So I appreciate all of your information. aiskill.live, we'll definitely be in touch with that. Everybody, thank you for joining us here on Market Mavericks. We'll see you soon. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Market Mavericks. We hope you're walking away inspired and ready to take your own adventure to the next level. Don't forget to follow the show to keep up with our latest episodes. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to subscribe, share it with others who could benefit. And hey, if you know a market maverick who has a story that needs to be heard, please drop their name in the comments. We would love to bring their insights to the show. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries and leading with purpose.